Today, on This American Dice, Aji gains an ally from the wrong side of the law. Yugare learns of a place in the city where only the darkest desires are fulfilled, and Ishi's investigation into one of his fellow magistrates bears fruit. Find out how it all goes down today on This American Dice.
I think that's kind of the night for you guys, for Yugare, Aji, and Ishi.
Probably.
The morning...
I get to heal?
What's that?
No. I got healers. You called? I did call the doctors. Do the doctors do anything for this man?
Sure. If I think some doctors or healers could show up.
Does it heal real harm?
I think we could do that. So I'd say you can heal a harm, and we could have you make a roll if you want to push your luck to push through and get better.
Does everyone heal harm?
Because he had a doctor called.
You said push my luck. What does that entail?
So you could probably heal an additional harm.
Yeah, or you could
risk your other hand.
But you have to make a move, and it could there could be some negative consequences for that.
Do you want the experimental procedure or not?
Yeah, let's do it.
Use 3 leeches.
Well, hold on. Let me figure out what would be our best, because this will say as a custom move. So I feel this would be a strong move, because it's just kind of like your physical oomph.
Yeah. Roll strong.
Uh-oh.
What was the consequence?
Oh boy.
All right.
Oh my god. That's a 1 experience point.
All right, so you roll the 5 plus 1 is 6.
Yes.
All right. So, okay, I'll say that this healer shows up, and the healer kind of spends the rest of the evening essentially putting these various kind of like poultices and such on Aji's hand, retreating the wounds on his stomach and that kind of thing, and is in there like for a lot of the night. And also, I think you guys notice like giving him like medical opium.
Yeah.
And so Aji, who was kind of acting crazy before, acts like real zonked out, and that's how we kind of see him just moaning and groaning through that. All right. So in the morning, do you guys just stay at his side throughout the night, Yugare and Ishi?
Yugare, well, I have to. Once I feel like it's safe and he's not going to wake up in a rampage, I have to attend to my family and basically tell them what happened and make sure they're okay and they understand, and then I'll go back.
Okay. And is Ishi doing the same, or is Ishi just watching over this guy, or?
No, I'm probably doing what I'm doing now.
Okay, just looking over your notes of
because now there's another player that could have made the illusion.
Okay.
The spirit, because that's all I've known it's done. It has made this man think things that aren't real. It's like whoever is calling it into being, because that's how I assume spirits work in this universe. Who knows?
Okay.
So who's in control of that?
All right.
Question mark here.
I think Yugare, at some point, maybe the equivalent of 8 in the morning, one of the servants says "Oh, my lord, there's someone here to see you."
Who is it?
And they say it's Sako Kinto, my lord.
Who's that?
That was the guy whose house you went to, and he had all the ruins in his backyard.
Oh.
Hope you let go free.
Yeah, I want to go see him. It's just a matter of whether I can leave this room. But are there other people attending to him?
That healer could stay with him.
Yeah, so we'll do that. So yeah, I'll go see Kinto.
Okay. So
I'll meet him in our meeting room or whatever, all haggard.
Sure. So you look all
staying up and
you look all tired. You got a 5 o'clock shadow kind of situation.
I still smell like smoke.
Yeah.
Burned hair.
And Sako Kinto is there. He's very, very old. He's sitting down, and he kind of bows quickly, or like a shallow little bow, and he's like, "Hi, Yugare. It's you." Yeah.
What brings the pleasure of seeing you again so soon?
He says, "I thought you would. You impressed me as a man who wanted to know the truths of the universe, and I can always value that." in anyone. And I thought we could speak of these things.
Absolutely. What wisdom have you uncovered?
And I think he gives you this long exposition about all of these ruins that he found.
Mm-hmm.
So again, about these serpent people who had lived thousands of years ago, long before the kami fell to earth, and how they have a connection with one another, and how that connection allowed them to create the things that in Rokugan are like thought of as fortunes and the kami and like that kind of thing. So basically that their own spiritual or mental connection to one another brought forth a lot of the mystical or metaphysical elements, I might be using that word incorrectly, that in Rokugani society they think are the movers and shakers. And he kind of brings this up.
Is he presenting this as fact or what he found?
This is what he's found through the ruins.
Like, this is what he's found that the ruins say happened? Or this is what... Like, is he presenting it as though he also believes it?
It sounds like you might be reading him, but if you just straight up ask him that.
Yeah, I'll say, are these writings that you also believe?
And he's like, everything that I found is it's completely true.
Very well.
And he's like, there's wisdom in these old ruins. We've unearthed something tremendous.
All right, continue with your
snake type.
Yeah. Continue with your story.
All right. Then he'll go on to tell you a lot of this stuff, and he'll bring up how like the other people there. He'll bring up poor Yoshi, who was the guy that Yugare killed, and the other folks were willing to stay there and help him, despite the fact that he's run out of money essentially. He'll bring up that he spent a lot of his money on buying another like plot, basically, and employing some people to dig up these things. And afterwards, he had to get volunteers who were interested in this, which was not easy to do. And in fact, that guy Yoshi wasn't a servant; he was a commoner who was interested in this
scholarly
information.
Volunteer.
A scholarly.
Yeah, and he'll bring up how like not everyone has shown such commitment, but there's a handful of those who were willing to follow through. He'll kind of bring that up.
I guess I'm reading him at this point.
Absolutely. All right, 3 + 5, 8 plus
+1.
+1, so 9. Damn.
So close.
What does your character wish I would do?
So he wants you to help him study these ruins. He's an old man, and he knows there's only so much he can find. He's already unearthed so much. He wants you to find more of this. He's upset that more people aren't willing to look into this stuff, and they had to hide it, because after all, it's technically illegal. But you showed a willingness and an interest in truth and knowledge that he thinks like you could continue this when he's gone. He fears that the other people that were involved they don't have the knowledge that you do. He's a Shigenja. He knows a lot more about kind of these spiritual aspects, and is a lot more scholarly in general. These other folks are commoners. Some of them, he'll tell you, like, can't even read the Rokugani language, let alone these ancient runes. So you going in there would help. And he regrets like having lost some followers who fell to the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll ask him, like, what do you mean fell to the wayside?
He says we had promising pupils who simply lost interest. They stopped coming.
I think I'll tell him, are you aware that of the danger you put yourself in? Not only from the dark forces I spoke of when we previously met. I know you haven't observed it on your own, but there are those who twist these histories into their own religious cult within the city. But for your own sake, I speak not only of them, but of the way some may interpret what you've done as blasphemy. This is a dangerous territory that you tread. And there's a fine line between discovering what people once believed and wrote on these tablets you found and believing it yourself.
I'll say, that's why I came to you. I know that you're a man who understands knowledge and appreciates it. I know that you're a scholar. The others are commoners. They can get a rudimentary knowledge of things, but it would require someone to teach them. And I'm not as young as I once was.
I have believed in the spirits and the kami and trusted in them. Would you perhaps understand why I might be reluctant to believe in these so-called histories that undermine the authority of the kami?
You say, you believe in trees, am I right, Yugare? You've seen trees, whether in a forest or a garden?
Of course.
No, I'm no believer.
And he says, I'm a firm believer that they exist. We can see them wherever we, in every garden in the empire, nearly. The Shinneman Mori, the great hidden forest, is not too far from this city. Boasts trees, maybe taller than any in the empire. So,
yes, I've seen many trees.
He says, and some trees bear fruit. Yes?
Indeed, I've eaten much fruit.
And he says, but from each of these trees grew from what? A seed. He says, I was trained as a shigenja as well. I was trained as a priest of the kami. I don't question their existence. I know them to be real. I just found where they came from.
Well, I've seen rotten fruit with no tree in sight. And what you've found is the fruit of a tree that is long forgotten. And whether that fruit is rotten or clean, we have no way of knowing now. What you've found must be approached with caution. And I can't, while I would like to know more, all that knowledge has to be tempered with understanding that we're getting but a glimpse. So
I think Asako Kinto just kind of puts his head, he looks a little downtrodden, and he says, I understand your skepticism, Yugare-san. I understand it. I'm just an old man. That's why some of the others have left too. An old man with crazy ideas who just wants to know.
If I were in a position other than the one I am in now, it would be my great pleasure to uncover all manner of history and mystery with you.
Harsh.
I appreciate that you can, and I hope that you are somehow able to continue your research.
He still looks downtrodden. But he says, well, thank you for your time. Yugare-san, thank you for your time. Kind of sadly, feebly gets up.
Now,
and heads on out.
Yeah, he leaves. I had said I was going to pay for that Yoshi's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where that money goes. Would that be like to Yoshi's family?
Sure.
Or maybe this guy's arranges it in some way?
Sure, if we want to have Asako Kinto do that, you can do that.
Yeah, I think I will do that. And the amount is like, maybe it comes with a note that is like, here's for the funeral, and here's for an apology. Or maybe not an apology, but like...
here's what your son's life was worth.
Well, it's not his son, but it's a random guy.
Oh, man. Then he gives it to the family.
You're setting a bad precedent.
Yeah, this man didn't pay at all. He just killed people and was like, that's wrong. He did pay. He paid the murderers.
Yeah, so let's say that Yoshi wasn't married.
Mm-hmm.
He does have like a mother and father that live somewhere in the city, somewhere in the fisherman's quarter, and you can give this money to Asako Kinto to contact those folks.
No, that's not what I'm shooting for. Let's see. So maybe I'll give the money to the family for the funeral. And then to Kinto, I'll send a separate package that's like, this is to help compensate for being down a man or like something like that. And it's like a wealth or something.
Okay. So you spent a wealth from the last game to send to Yoshi's family, and then a wealth this game to send to Asako Kento to assist him with what he's doing.
Well, with Yoshi is not working for him anymore, and so, to make up for labor.
That makes you his patron.
Is that like a law?
An illegal operation.
Well, it's not an illegal operation. It's just digging.
It's just super blasphemous. Which is illegal.
I'm trying to write it in such a way that it is not
patronage.
Becoming a patron. It's just like, this guy died and here's some money because it was your house.
If you're giving it to... Okay. Yeah.
It's just like an outside investor, right? Not a continuing patron, right?
No, I don't want it to be associated with the work he's doing. Trying to tie it to Yoshi's death in some awkward way.
But do you want it to be connected?
Or do you want to patron him, but on the super down low? So every time you come over, you just kill a guy so you can continue.
I know what he's going to do with the money. I just want to present it in a way
that it can't go back.
Right.
Yeah.
So
I got you.
Do you want him to do something in particular with the money?
No.
Maybe
I feel like
his research.
He said that he
things.
wanted to continue his research, so I'm assuming that that's what he'll do with the money.
Okay.
Are you doing it with the expectation that he will tell you any important details that he learns, like important stuff?
I'm not writing any of that into the message.
Well, you don't have to write it. I just want to know, like, overall.
I mean, it's not with an expectation. I don't think it's necessarily implied.
Aji, you kind of wake up. Your head is killing you. Yeah, you're in heaven.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, your head is killing you.
Didn't make it.
And the servants are kind of cleaning up around you, and they're adjusting a few things. And there is an object that you didn't notice. And it looks like it's actually... Yeah, there is an object that the servant brings in that you hadn't really... That's new as they're adjusting. And as your eyes kind of focus on it, it seems to be a gift.
A gift? I asked servant... Where'd that come from? Where'd the gift come from?
Some servants brought it in from a patron in the merchant quarter. It comes with a card. If you'd like me to like, read it to you or give it to you.
Read it to me if you can. And
the card just says, "We hope you're doing well. We hope you are in good. We hope you're doing well. We hope you basically get better soon. We hope you're feeling better soon, and we hope to do whatever we can to thank you for your bravery." And it's the
Naga.
Yeah. So it's signed. It's a person's name. It's just third. The other name for this person is Dai-san. DAI-SAN.
Is this like a person that's in this book?
Big three?
So
Is this one
basically, yeah.
Big three?
So no, it's when you hear the name, you're like, oh, that's not a samurai for sure. That's definitely like a commoner's name.
Oh, I think he sucks. Dyson.
And the servant asks, like, would you like me to open it?
Yes, open, please.
So the servant unwraps. The gift is wrapped. And what is it? So it is a thank you gift. It would almost be it's not a bouquet of flowers. I have some ideas if you're struggling.
I think it's just something handcrafted. Can tell it's the craftsmanship. It's particularly high. It's a thoughtful gift.
Okay.
Well, like it's just a nondescript like object.
So how about this? What if it's the handcrafted aspect or like the good craftsmanship aspect is it's a really nice bottle of sake, but there's a weird aspect that marks it as like definitely given by someone who's probably a commoner. What if it's like it's held by something really like ostentatious? Like clearly someone spent a bunch of money on this, and so like it's a bottle of sake kept in like a decorative container that's like really
ridiculous.
Like, yeah, something like real nuts where you're like, okay, well the sake is actually nice sake, but it's in a bottle.
Like that.
Like a mason jar.
Like that.
No, I think like somebody spent like
Vodka
too
bottle?
much, kind of like oh,
I'm an encrusted vodka bottle?
yeah, someone who has more money than taste.
Yes, that is exactly. Well, that bottle actually was pretty nice, but.
Yeah, I'd say that this, like, so it has that, like, oh, there is a nice aspect to this, but there's also, like, a tinge of, you don't know how to buy gifts for noblemen, do you?
I'll tell the servant just to leave it on the nightstand.
All right. Are you still bound?
Is that up to me?
I think so, just within the fiction, because the healer who was here might have had to, like, untie you, or maybe not.
Say I'm unbound, but I can't leave my quarters without Ishi or Yugare being notified.
Okay. Like the servants have been told to give them a heads up.
Yeah.
Seems fine.
What should I be doing?
I'm done.
So, do I investigate? It's okay for me to walk?
I think you can get up.
You can get places.
Can I defend myself?
You were able to fight off Michitaka for sure, but you ended up worse for the wear after the situation.
Right. So, like, you're on, like, a path downhill. You keep on getting into fights with people and getting destroyed.
All right. I would like to wear my armor. I think things are looking dangerous.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to start the more...
Well, where are you going before you do that? Are you going anywhere?
I'm just following...
nowhere.
The armor closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just me in armor now. I'm just always going to be in armor.
Why not meet up with Dai-san?
All right.
Trying to find this kid.
So, if Aji wants to go somewhere, are you guys cool? The servant says, like, a servant gives one of either Ishi or Yugare the heads up that, like, oh, Aji-sama has awoken and he seems like he's looking to leave.
I'm not about to leave. I'm not going to stop him. I think he probably shouldn't leave because he's super fucked up, but, you know, I think it's fun.
I think Yugare will walk with him, find him on the way out, walk with him. Are you okay to leave?
Yeah.
How's your health?
Could be better.
Yes,
He's looking, it's still bleeding.
I apologize for what became of your hand.
You have to do what you have to do.
Does his hand snap, crackle, and pop when he walks in?
Ooh, I think it's all coated in, like, I think it's definitely, like bandaged up and has all kinds of, like, goopy poultice kind of stuff on there. So, like, squished up. Almost like somebody poured some kind of medical pesto on your arm.
Nice.
I feel that this city has already inflicted scars upon my soul, but you're forced to wear them on your
Face and hand.
face and hand.
And stomach, right?
Yeah.
I know that what's happened between us last night could cause a rift, but I hope that if you need anything, that we, as magistrates and as your friends, can be there for you. Not all habits die hard. Or old habits do die hard. But we can always strive to become better.
I don't think we'll ever see eye to eye on everything, but I hope we'll probably meet in the middle sometime in the future, but I just don't see we'll ever agree on the one thing you're thinking of. You don't know what it's like.
I don't know, I think Yugare's going to say something really cheesy like, you can be a better version of you.
Oh, God.
With friendship.
Jesus.
Just say no.
But he'll say it like it was super wise, and then just like nod, like yeah, and
Yeah, I did good today.
and let Aji go do whatever he's gonna go.
That's a big W for me.
Yeah.
All right. So Aji heads out to go see this person.
Dai-san.
So I think that there's you're given the heads up that the place that you can meet this person is at the Emerald Cup, the place of your fight with Michitaka.
Oh, all right. I head there to the Emerald Cup.
All right, so it is the next day, Tayo.
Mm-hmm.
So you've found that information out last night. I think that fire kind of led late into the night, but didn't bleed into the day.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely led late into the evening.
Unlike Aji.
Yeah. So what's Tayo's next move from there? I assume after that you do go home.
Mm-hmm.
Whether to get like a little bit of rest or just to speak with your family. But like essentially the next morning, what's the game plan?
I guess I'll update everybody on the fire and probably hear about this stuff, I assume.
Okay. So do you want to run that as a scene, or do you want to just say you send them that message?
Yeah, I feel like that could happen off camera. I don't think.
She doesn't know like that the fire happened and that she found people who were dressed in Thunder Guard uniforms but weren't Thunder Guard.
Yep. And that the EDA are going to examine them and get back to me, I guess.
Okay.
So who are those assassins? Was there only one assassin that we know of that's now dead?
So you know Jaw was an assassin for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that Tayo knows that Jaw was hired to kill both Watchful
By
Subtle. I know. And he was hired by Lean Meat to kill Miramoto Ogai.
And that's the only assassin we know of, right?
So I don't know, but there's one more question mark assassin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure he's hired by, but I'm pretty sure they're hired by Osaka and Kanai.
Yeah. So maybe I'll talk to, didn't I ask her that already? If she knows of any other assassins?
So
Did I ask Yoga Osaka that?
if she knows other assassins,
Yeah, I forget if I did or not.
I don't think you did.
Okay.
But yeah, but her response to some of the stuff about like Jaw and Watchful had been like, you want to know as little about that stuff as possible so that you are safe from that.
Yeah, actually, I don't really care.
Okay.
I guess because that's just leading toward the journal, which I feel like Tayo's not super into. Because I feel like Tayo already knows everything that's going to be there.
It's not journal's work. Can you read Naruto Guy's mind? No? She doesn't know it's a journal, though.
Oh, kind of like that magistrate move?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Only
Always
mid-session.
seem so depressed every time I bring that up.
No, just because since some of the games have been like, it's the next day. It's like, when did you get time to do this stuff?
No, should I not do?
It's fine.
I don't mind. I'm just trying to amass wealth. That's really what's going on.
Nice.
That's not how I do it. So.
You rolled a 4.
It's
my
a
roll
it's
is?
a-
So unless it's +3.
Sagacious. It is +3.
Alright. So it's 7.
So same thing as last time. I just uncover some kind of corruption, and then I can just basically cover it up to get points.
Yeah, like money.
Yeah, wealth and blackmail.
Okay. Anything in particular that you're covering up here?
Or particularly one card.
Is there anything else I dig up or anything?
I mean, it's stuff that you already know, but if you just want to say that you get like a wealth out of it, it's just like obviously that
things
obviously that central warehouse was corrupt.
Oh,
like
yeah,
it's legal unprocessed. It would be easy to cover it up as like legal unprocessed opium, but very clearly it was going to become illegal opium.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll take another blackmail on the governor in that case. Amassing so many. That's 2.
I don't know how you use blackmail this fucking game.
But I guess the only other thing I had.
Well, one of the things you had said was about Ishi told you that Shinjo Sanafusa is likely the one who killed Horse.
Yeah, and we were supposed to go
And
to
you were
Baranada.
talking to
Not
Shikora
Baranada.
Chica.
Chica.
Oh,
Close.
yeah.
Both B's.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
You could do that.
That's right, instead of a meeting there.
Okay. Well, that's easy for you to get that. He'll speak to you just at his house in the meeting
The
room or
bird
whatever.
palace.
Yeah.
The bird garden.
Since it's colder, you guys are out there probably less often. But
Penguins, right?
yeah, he can puppies actually. No,
Just changes them out year round.
he can meet up with you and just say it seems like there was a fire last night.
Yeah.
Has something to do with that dog?
Yeah. This wasn't anyone under your command, was it?
It's like, no, I'm not going to say she didn't deserve it though.
Is he lying?
Sounds like you're reading.
Why would you lie to you? best buddies.
I'm only best buddies.
That's 4. Again, plus 3 is 7.
God, that's so ridiculous. Can I just say, you'll never get experience again.
I basically haven't. It's telling the truth.
Yes.
Good use of the rule.
All right. Who do you think could have done it? Seems like have you heard anything about Magic Lady?
About Soshi Sarioku?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I know her operation dried up when Watchful got killed.
I think
nobody's heard from her. I know her house burned down.
I think I told him
Weird.
before that I think
Who would know that?
I suspected her, right?
Mm-hmm.
The world should be closed.
Yeah. So maybe. Yeah, I remember telling that. So I'll say, I interrogated some of the people involved, and it seems like work of Sugenja masquerading as Thunderguard. Seems like that woman's claws are still in the city. Seems like it's still going on. I don't know what to do.
He says, well, I don't have much more of an option other than to. It's like I've got to keep my operation safe till the end of the winter. Once the winter's over, we can get everything moving again and supply some of these areas we've been not cut off from, but nearly. Once we bring in some more cash, a lot more options will open up. So at the moment, we're on the defensive, especially now that horse is dead. Do you think she killed her too? Because that just sounds like the governor.
Well, about that, no, we actually investigated that and found it. I think it's someone else responsible. We're looking into it, but there's no connection to the governor so far. I think it's almost certainly someone else. Maybe once I have more evidence, I can tell you specifically. But
and
I think it's over.
I think he's. I think, like I said, some of the birds have been brought inside because it's too cold for them outdoors, and he's like feeding one of them. And when you say like, I think I have a suspect, I think he like turns and he's petting one of these birds, and he's like, "Who is it? Who did it?"
I don't want to implicate anyone before we know for sure, but I've ruled out the governor at least.
And who is it?
I think it's best if we wait until I'm sure.
And I think he just says, like, I'm getting tired of waiting, Tayo. If someone's someone's trying to ruin my operation, I want to make sure that I know who it is. Who is it? And you hear, like, this little bird squawking in his hand.
Spoiled that bird.
And yeah, you definitely notice, like, he's squeezing this bird.
I need you to let me handle these things.
Ooh,
I'm trying to.
sounds like you're manipulating him.
You can handle that bird.
Go with a puffin.
Go with the bird.
10.
10?
10. Not a 12, though.
No.
He's already
That
a
would be
friend
great,
pretty much, though.
And he just says, well, and he kind of stuffs the bird back in its cage and says, well, Bayushi Tayo, I expect that you'll handle whoever this was. Aji's going to meet with Daisan at the Emerald Cup. What's Ishi's game plan?
You see, Tayo has been super not into investigating this. He's been really into getting rid of Hyoba, but not so much into the Bayushi family. I feel like it's time to launch an investigation, so I would like to do that.
Bayushi Korochika?
Into Tayo.
Oh, into Tayo.
Well,
all right.
I would like to roll that investigation thing.
Sure.
Hope it doesn't go poorly.
So 10
That's
plus
a 12, baby.
12.
Well, I can choose 2 from the list, or I can spend a favor or wealth to choose 3. So, one of them is they do not learn of my investigation.
So you're choosing that?
Choosing that.
Okay.
I'll spend a wealth, so I have 3 total choices. I learn a secret about the person, or uncover a secret alliance between them and somebody else. And then I learn compromising information, and I gain 1 black now over them.
All right. So Ishi is learning a compromising secret about Tayo, and uncovers an alliance that you have.
An alliance or a secret.
Alliance or a secret. So what do you think will be the most dramatic step?
Is it specifically supposed to be a new one? Is it specifically supposed to be a new one?
A new one for it's just uncover a secret alliance between the person and someone else, or learn a secret. It's like either or, one of those two, and then also I will learn compromising information.
Because did you get a blackmail from that or something?
I do get a blackmail from the compromising information.
Because that could be the thing you already know, and then you just have mechanical backing that she's masquerading.
So you listened back to the other episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was it that Tayo told Ishi, I killed my brother? Because I remember you said that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did you also say, I'm his twin sister and I'm masquerading as him? Or just, I killed my brother?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
so
that's the whole thing.
So you said everything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't realize you said you masqueraded. Okay.
Yeah, because the deal was that you knew the original Tayo, or you met him or something.
So that's why. So I'll get a blackmail over you for that. That's cool.
Yeah.
And
Is that the guy who beat me in battle?
well, it actually says you learn compromising information, but I'm fine with this. Just getting the blackmail.
Or you two might
I mean, the compromising stuff. How's the other thing worded again? The thing that's not.
Uncover a secret alliance.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Or learn a secret.
Secrets.
I mean, the only real secret is that I've been meeting with the governor and the Baishi people, right?
Yeah, I know that.
Speak having parties
You
that
just
you're all
told me.
invited to.
You told me that you were meeting with them to set something up.
You could
Do
learn
I
that
know?
you've been...
Yeah. Oh, maybe I've
Do I
been.
know that you're in the cartel? Pretty much.
Maybe it's or if it's Lasol, and that it could be that I've been meeting with them for
Because
months at this point.
The reason why I'm investigating you is because I received a letter that said this man's not doing his job for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the letter said, and I'm trying to figure out why.
So, I mean, it could be that I've been meeting with either the governor or Baishi or both, for months without telling you.
Okay.
Or I don't know. What do you think?
Do you want it to be just the full thing of he's been working with them? That Tayo's been working with them in regards to opium stuff?
Yeah.
In regards to the opium cartels?
But, okay.
Or working to hide some of what's going on?
That.
Would that make sense?
I'm fine with either.
Because then I have a good reason to be like, hey, what's happening? Let's write that down.
Can you pick the option that I don't figure that out, right?
You don't know that I have investigated you.
Okay. All right. So, Aji. So I think you're going around, and I think we see you again talking to various Thunder Guard groups, talking to different not Thunder Guard groups, firefighter groups. Maybe talking to some of the Thunder Guard. Maybe you look back at some stuff about actual Tayo and kind of are able to see that, oh, indeed, Suki, Tayo's sister. There was some kind of evidence that person existed. Where'd that person go? They kind of vanished after this point. Aji, you get to the Emerald Cup, and you've been here before. This was the site of your duel with Muchitaka. Things have been cleaned up for the most part, but this place seems a lot quieter, and there seems to be a real air of tension in the place. What gives us the heads up that things are seriously tense in there?
There's probably general conversation until I show up. Everyone looks at me.
Okay.
And kind of goes a little quiet.
You kind of hobble in. You're still probably walking with a crutch on your good arm.
Really only looking where Michitaka died.
Ooh, yeah. Is there any sign of what happened?
I could tell that the bamboo mats are new.
Okay.
Where he died.
Nice. So they've had to replace some of the bamboo mats to hide that blood, or just to clean it up more easily. You see, there's the usual, you've seen this before. Some of the strong-arm firemen are here, and there's a guy who's maybe in his later 30s, early 40s, who comes up to you and he bows, and he says, Aji-sama, welcome.
Are you Dai-san?
It's oh, absolutely, please. And he bows again, and he says, I wanted to thank you in person. I didn't want to just send you a gift, so thank you so much for coming. Here, please, have a seat. And he signals over to somebody, and one of the firemen, at the bar, orders some drinks, and then they're brought over. And he's like, please.
I don't know if I'll be here long, but speak your piece, and then I'll decide to sit or not.
He says, I merely wish this as a thank you. I appreciated I heard all about your bravery on that night here. I wanted to thank you.
I wouldn't call it a bravery, but I guess I should sit down. I'll hear you out. Take a seat.
Yes, well, I know I can't offer you much. I just wanted to express my thanks. The boy that was killed that night was my cousin. No, not my cousin, my nephew. The boy that was killed that night was my nephew, and I wanted to thank you for bringing justice. And you remember Michitaka killed one of the strong-arm firemen?
Oh.
Right before he dueled you.
No, I didn't remember. I didn't even care. But don't say that.
And he says, I know I can order you drinks and that kind of thing, but if you need help in some way, please feel free to ask.
I appreciate your gratitude, but it's not something that I should be thanked for. Please, he was my cousin. I don't see it as justice. His death was not necessary, but if you're offering help, I would like that. Maybe his death can mean something more. What kind of help are you offering?
Yugare offered help too.
No, he's kind of being an asshole about it.
So, I think the way this guy is, so maybe Aji doesn't quite figure this out. But I mean, no, you know that these firemen are also gangs. The firefighters are also gangs. So Aji would already know, and he's come here multiple times before. This guy is like a gangster, and so he can help you out in some kind of way. But it's more of like you would ask him for something, basically like, oh yeah, I appreciate what you did, and I owe you a favor.
Oh, so just in case you need to disappear anybody else, I see. Give him more tools to disappear people.
What are you talking about?
Don't listen to him. You're doing good.
Oh, disappeared?
2 people have disappeared. Both people you know.
Both were resolved.
Did they?
Did they?
So, you also know that this person's probably as a gangster, and I'll say pretty quickly you could figure out he's the leader of the strong-arm firemen. That you could figure out as a gangster, Daison he's not going to be there.
I don't know. I'm marking down the leaders.
Okay.
Which one?
The strong arm. They're in the
Strong arm, they're in the
the unicorn geek.
Third is his name?
Third or Daison.
Third it is.
Third it is.
And
So I just don't know.
yeah, he's the leader. He's the leader of one of the more active
Yeah, he
gangs.
died. That's right.
There's a new one.
And is it kind of like would it look bad on me if I refuse this offer? Or
I mean, he's your social inferior by a bit. So
a bit in his society, or in his world.
do you want to read this guy?
Yeah.
Go for it. All right, we got a 4+.
Oh, it's 4.
All right.
I'm not the smartest guy in the block. That's why I don't do investigations.
So, well, he'll just say if you need something, think about it.
But I don't know what he means by something.
You need to disappear someone. Gangster things.
Well,
No, it's a gangster.
Daison, I got a question for you. You love this city?
And he's like,
What?
Sure.
What the fuck is your power plan?
It's like, would you do anything to benefit the city regardless of who it angers?
No. And he's like, no.
No?
He's like, I got friends, I've got family. I want to make sure they're all right.
Well, I'm here to protect this city, and if that includes your friends and family, then it's like, that's what we all want. Everyone to be safe. I think I just leave. I bid him farewell, and Daison, if I need anything, I'll let you know.
So just let me know.
And you said I know he's the leader of the strong arm?
Yeah.
say he like raises a glass to you as you go, or so does like some kind of toast just silently. Does Yugare have a game plan?
Well, I want to find the source of this dark.
Well, you got a clue in the last game about it.
I did.
Do you remember it?
Probably not.
You were wondering about that, and you thought about the things that Kansen like. And
oh, right. Like the slums and the bars.
You remember Teardrop Island would be a place where desire would be a massive thing. It's a place specifically made for that.
Right.
And so if evil spirits were to try to congregate in a place, this might be it.
How close is my friend Thunderguard's post from Teardrop Island?
So the proximity of plot.
Oh. So I want to join him on like a patrol or whatever there. Maybe I need to talk to him and ask about setting that up.
Okay, well let's just say for the sake of it, he can be there.
Okay.
Like that day. And he'll tell you like this is a choice position, and was kind of given this because almost as like compensation for like you had something rough go on. Come on, spend some time in Teardrop Island. It's essentially will be nicer.
What's so good about it?
There are a variety of sake houses and brothels and geisha houses here, and so you can see how a person would like this, especially if they're like most of the Thunderguard you've encountered.
Yeah, although I guess somewhat naively I'll ask, but how does those entertainments help you while you're on duty?
You get your sword polished, keep it nice and shiny.
And so he'll say something like it's a lot nicer of an atmosphere, and it's because the sword's polished, it's a lot safer.
Very, very well. Well, what I seek are the darkest and most depraved from here.
Nice. He'll tell you, well, I don't know what you're looking for specifically.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I know I've asked you to let me know if you see anything out of the ordinary. Have you seen anyone act uncharacteristic of themselves? I know this is a place of, where, people get drunk a lot and do stuff, but other than, uncharacteristic, have you seen people act out?
You say, well, I've only ever heard rumors. I've never seen anything myself, but I heard rumors about a place out here it's not like a geisha house, and it's not even like a brothel. It's something gross.
Gross.
He'll say, when he says something gross, you think he doesn't have the words to express it. Like he doesn't mean gross like ew, yucky, gross. Like he means something like worse than that, but he doesn't know how to express that idea.
This will sound odd, but that seems promising.
He said, I heard that there's a place that people go to, not just to spend the night with a geisha, not just to hear the dragons sing, but they go to do some weird stuff. Heard about folks who come in from the country and they don't come back from this place. And I don't mean like at Madame Karaku's Inn. They don't just get old, get sick, just get abused. They're folks who they don't ever come back.
Such a place may require investigation by the magistrate. I'll need you to watch my back.
So in this day, do you look for this place?
Yeah, I'm going to go there with Ajo.
So is this just a read a situation roll?
Okay.
Okay. We got a 5 plus a 2, that's a 7.
Plus 1.
Damn it.
Alright. Am I looking for it?
Yeah, I think that you and this guy basically spend this day
trying to find the place that he's heard about.
Searching for this place. And he'll explain to you that, no one's really looked for it because it's an urban legend. It's like, and he'll say it's like the ninja. The only reason I'm even bringing it up to you.
It's because I'm asking silly questions.
Well, no, it's because he saw that, from his perspective, you performed a miracle and changed his mind completely about, things that he thought couldn't be real.
Alright. Otherwise, he wouldn't even think it exists. Alright, well then I guess what's the best... Oh, that says escape. Escape route / way in. That one. What's the best way in?
Ooh. So, I'm going to say that you can follow... if this is really a place that's as bad as this guy says, if you can open yourself up to a little bit of that darkness that had tried to tempt you, it'll lead you straight there. It's a risky move.
Oh my god.
If you could open yourself up to that, it'll point you right in the exact direction.
You want to say something? I think that this game has two things going on. One, we're trying to sell his nerd. Two, Austin's trying to make all of us consort with demons.
Yeah.
That's all. Go for it.
Hey, I'm
Not yet.
I only sell horses.
He's not worked on you yet.
Does this
He's not worked on you.
manifested in some way? Like, just Yugare gets a sense
I think-
that that's true?
Yeah, I think just you're like, this, I know that the Kansan would be here. If I can just open myself up to them just a little bit, it'll point me like a beacon to this place.
I think I'll tell Ajo there is a darkness that calls to me. We can.
This makes him very uncomfortable.
He's like,
It's
What?
It's somewhere here within within this district, but I cannot let it in. Please forgive me that we have to continue looking the hard way.
So if here's what this roll would be mechanically. So it would basically be like a custom move to find this place. You roll blessed, and you get +1 given your read a situation.
if you fail, you get shot
So
on.
if it fails, there'll be something bad that happens.
That's what humans do.
Yeah, I don't think Yugare is a gambler when it comes to his own soul. Yeah, I'm gonna not do that. Not doing it.
Okay.
Stop trying to tempt danger. It's not working.
Thought you were a Ghostbuster.
It's alright.
So you just walk around.
Walk around not finding anything for
Double check the tour guide.
Yeah, I think you're in a situation where when you talk to people, other folks just don't believe that exists. And if you mention it, like, in the same way that if you're saying, like when you said, there's a darkness out here, and if you said that to a regular person, they'd be like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Every time you bring this up, everyone's like, what? And a few people who even remotely seem like they've heard of this stuff are the equivalent of, like, if you talk to them and said, oh, the devil's in it, like, they view it more as like a parable of, like, oh yeah, there are people who come here from out in the country and then end up as, like, prostitutes, or people who show up and become addicted to opium,
Right.
or people who show up and lose all their money in casinos or, like, gambling houses. And so no one essentially takes what you're saying as, like, a literal
Right.
thing.
City of Lies is Toan as Kakita Aji, Branden as Hida Ishi, David as Bayushi Tayo, Andrew as Agasha Yugare, and Austin as your game master. The theme music for City of Lies is Mission of Danger by Lobo Loco. Additional music for this episode includes Petrichor by Midair Machine. Our intro was read by Scott. This American Dice Ryoko Owari City of Lies uses the City of Lies box set by Greg Stolz, published by Alderac Entertainment Group. The mechanics used is a modified PBTA system by Brendan Taylor of Galileo Games. Join us next time for more This American Dice. Hey everybody, if you could please rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcatcher, it would really help This American Dice. And for every 5-star review we receive, we'll read it on air. Join us next week for another episode of This American Dice.